Welcome to LunarFlow. We're gonna do a little bit of a waning moon practice. We had a full moon on Monday, so still gonna move a little bit. It was in close proximity, so but we'll do some really good stretching as well. So let's begin on our seat. Just seated, nice and tall spine. Drop your shoulders down from your ears, pull them back so they come in towards your spine. And just find a nice kind of neutral position where there's a little bit of effort, but mostly you can focus on relaxing. You can relax your jaw, you can relax your temples, your scalp, your shoulders. And bring your focus to your breathing. Just notice what it feels like to let the air come in and let the air exit. If you think about it, it's kind of like a full circle. You start empty, you fill up, you get so full you can't take in anymore, and then you release until you're empty again, and then we're back to the start of the circle. So see if you could just imagine almost like a pie chart of inhale, inhale, inhale to the half point, and then exhale, exhale, exhale back to the starting point. Tried to spend just one song. It was probably a 3-minute and something second song, just focusing on my breathing yesterday. And it's really hard. It's funny how many different little things pull on your attention, on your awareness. So just see if you can focus a little bit longer on that pie chart, on the breathing in, the breathing out, getting back to the starting point. Take one more full inhale and exhale. And then bring your eyes back open. Take your head from side to side. Just a couple slow movements back and forth. Take a little assessment of what it feels like to have your neck in your body, your specific neck. What does that neck feel like? Does it feel tight on one side? Does it feel tight on both sides? Can you feel a difference between the two? Add in a couple head rolls, dropping your chin forward towards your chest. And bring your head back to neutral. Let's switch our legs around. So the back leg comes around to the front. Make sure that your posture is good. Again, let's check in, make sure your ears are over your shoulders or over your hips, and then bring your arms into a big T. We are gonna do some just isolated movements here. Make sure your shoulders don't come up to your ears. We still want to be kind of relaxed, even though we're gonna be active. So let's start. We're gonna do 30 seconds of circles forward, just little size baby circles, like a little saucer for a teacup. We're gonna do it for 15 more seconds before we switch directions. So keep those circles small, pull your belly button in towards your organs, towards your spine. In 5 seconds, we'll switch. All right, take it the other direction. Scan your focus through your body. Make sure you're not slumping, you're not dumping into anything. We're not caving our way forward. We're not dumping into our low back. You can use your core for a little bit extra support. We've got 10 more seconds here. 5. Change directions again. This time we're gonna make like a small dinner plate size. We're gonna do small to large, just so you have a bit of a mental prediction of what how we're gonna be here. We are intentionally inviting in a little bit of a burning sensation through our shoulders. Got 5 more seconds this direction. And then change backward. So you're going small dinner plates, the opposite direction. The slow burn I can see in the sky today. We're going to have the moon in Aries, which is a fiery sign. We've got a square between Venus and Mars, Mars and Saturn. This is tension. It can feel like that burning, uncomfortable kind of energy. All right, we're going to change back to the first wave, big circles, bigger than a big dinner plate. So why are we doing this? So we can practice relaxing through the burn. I think that this is an important skill to have. It goes along with that whole hard is not bad thing. Uncomfortable is not bad. We just give it that label because it makes us feel sticky and icky on the inside. All right, go to your big circles the other direction. Very good. It's kind of like getting into a cold tub of water. The more you can relax, the more tolerable it is. But relaxing is really counterproductive, just like it is right now. Right, we've got 10 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring your arms in front of you, palms touch, elbows at shoulder height. And we're just going to pump our prayer hands up and down. That burn is still there. My goodness. See if you can soften with it a little bit. Ease yourself into the tension. And we're going to do this for just a little bit longer, 10 more seconds. And then we've got 1 more. All right, 3, 2, 1. Good. Elbows still in front. We're going to tap up and down on our elbows. Holy Mother. The tension is palpable. It's hot. Makes my shoulders feel hot. This is what friction can feel like on the inside as well, in our brains and our hearts. All right. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, drop your arms, shake your shoulders out. That was 4 minutes. Wow, that was powerful. Let's come down onto our hands and knees. We're going to stretch our shoulders out a little bit after that controlled burn. Let's do a couple of windmills from our tabletop. We'll inhale, reach one hand up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring it back to the floor. Alternate side to side. Open up your chest as you twist. Give yourself time to really feel the stretch, the opening that's happening around your ribs, the front of your chest as well, your pec muscle. And let's come back to the right side. Lift your right arm up to the ceiling. Make a couple circles with your wrist, either direction. And then a couple circles with your arm, either direction. It's full range of motion. Notice what it feels like to move, change directions. Very good. Take your hand up to the ceiling, big stretch, and then thread your needle. Bring your right shoulder down to the mat, your head down to the mat. Let your booty lift up high into the sky. And then do what you can to soften here. Relax your muscles. A lot of us have this funny little mechanism in our brain that says, if we're not trying our absolute hardest, it's not going to work. And yoga gives us an opportunity to practice the opposite of that. Gives us an opportunity to practice relaxing and releasing and softening into the pose, because this, like so many other postures, the more you can make your body heavy, the more you can release, the more you get out of the pose. See if you have anything else to let go of. Any effort that you are exacting, that you're executing in your body. See if you can soften that, deactivate your muscles. And then let's come back through center, back to tabletop. Let's take a few cats and cows before we move on. Roll your spine up and down. Take a few deep breaths that help you determine your motion, your movement. Bring the spine back down to neutral, and then we'll do 3 more windmills. Start with the left hand. Inhale your left hand up to the ceiling. Exhale, place it back on the mat. Go to the right side. Ooh, big reach. Exhale, bring your palm back down. Over to the left, lift that left hand up high. Make some rotations with your left wrist. Now rotations with your left arm. Big circle sweeps all the way around your body, your shoulder socket. Change the direction of those. And then take your hand up high. Thread your needle, bring your left shoulder and your left temple down to the mat. Allow your spine to twist, your shoulder to stretch, your muscles to soften, and your body to get really heavy. One more inhale, exhale here. And then work your way back to tabletop. Let's walk our knees together. And press your hips back towards your heels. Find a child's pose, hips to heels, forehead to the floor. On your next inhale, shift your body up and then forward. We're going to come down to our belly for a couple of Cobra poses. So we're going to move with our breath. We'll inhale chest high and then exhale lower down to the ground. Inhale chest high, Cobra, exhale down. One more time, breathe in, lift your chest up. And then come down into Sphinx pose. So we'll put our elbows on the floor, forearms down, palms on the mat as well. And settle in here for a little bit. This is wonderful for putting some pressure, some compression in your low back. So put your focus there, because a lot of times we can't feel that our muscles are stuck until they're like painful. They're sounding the alarm. I remember, and I know I've said so many times that I got a massage once, and the massage therapist was like, "Hey, are you aware that this muscle in your back is very, very active?" And I was like, "No, I'm not aware." And she's like, "Can you release it?" And I was like, "No, I can't. I don't know how to find that muscle. Where is it?" So I think that if we can intentionally discover or intentionally connect with different parts of our bodies, it makes it easier for us to identify when they're stuck, when they're tripped up, they're stuck in a pattern or stuck in a loop. Put your focus in your low back. See if you can feel that compression. Drop your chin down towards your chest. Take one more inhale, exhale, and then slowly bring your chest all the way down to the ground. Let's reach your right fingertips over to 3 o'clock. And then slowly begin to roll onto your right side. So we're opening into the front of our right shoulder, stretching out all those muscles that we just had very activated, that we just had very tense on purpose, that burning sensation. And once again, put your focus there and just establish connection with this area of your body. Very slowly move to the opposite side. Bring our belly back to the floor, our pelvis back. Take your left fingertips over to 9 o'clock. And same thing, roll onto your left side. Stretch into those front shoulder muscles. These are the muscles that get tight if we work in cold environments and have to keep our elbows close to our body. These are also the muscles that get tight if you have bad posture. Round your shoulders forward, or if you spend any time or effort trying to make yourself smaller, more palatable for other people, fitting into different crowds, different groups. Slowly roll our way back towards our bellies. Bring your hands beside your chest. We'll take a few more cobras with our breaths. We'll inhale chest high and then exhale chest to the ground. A couple more times on your own. Take one more cobra. And then move back to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up high. Take a couple pedals out with your heels, one side at a time. Press down into both of your heels. Press down into both of your hands. Press your hips up and back. And then breathe in and come forward into a plank. Breathe out, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank, come forward. Exhale, down dog, go back. We'll keep doing this with our breath forward and back. Again, bringing a little bit of that slow burn back into our bodies. Moon is in a fiery, well, it will be in a fiery sign today. So expending energy like this, creating slow burns in our body, having to exert effort is one of the best emotional regulation tools that we can invest time in. When the moon is in a fire sign, we tend to be a little bit more emotionally impulsive or emotionally reckless. We can get ourselves there. It's just a little bit easier. Not saying that we will all have temper tantrums today, but I think it's still good to think about. Let's do one more forward into plank and we'll hold this one. You can drop to your knees if you feel like that would be best for your form. And we'll just hold steady right here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bring your right knee towards your chest. Take it back. Left knee towards your chest. Take it back. Alternate sides, one knee at a time. We're going to do 10 total. So there's 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, and 10. Downward facing dog. Go up and back. And then walk your feet forward towards your hands. Take a halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Extended mountain pose. Stand up, reach up for the ceiling. And then interlace your hands down by your tailbone. Press the knuckles downward towards the floor. And then bring your hands in a knot over to your right side, your right hip bone. We'll take the right ear down towards the right shoulder. Let that part, the bottom of your skull, all the way down to the edge of your shoulder. Let those muscles lengthen. Switch sides, bring your fist over to your left hip, left ear, left shoulder. Let those muscles on that side of your neck stretch out. Let's bring our eyes back to neutral. Bring your hands back to neutral. Press your knuckles down. Spread your feet apart so your feet are a little bit wider. Let's inhale, lengthen the arms, and then exhale, fold your chest forward. Release your fingertips down to the ground. Walk your feet in together. Take a halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Extended mountain, root to rise, reach up high. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Extended mountain pose, reach up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Extended mountain. Let's reach up one more time, big stretch. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Take your left foot to the back of your mat. Drop your knee down to the ground. So we're in a low lunge. Gonna take a couple forward, backward movements with the hips. So we're gonna bend the front knee and straighten the front knee out. One of the other things that's going on in the sky today is Mars square Saturn. This energy is still around. We've had it for a couple days now. I think it'll be here for a couple more days. And that can be like when you have all the motivation to proceed on a certain thing, a certain project, a certain area of life. But for whatever reason, roadblocks, obstacles, resistance seem to be reoccurring. And it doesn't, I don't know, I guess there's more ways that can show up in our lives, but that's the main way that I've kind of been thinking about it. Let's bring our hips back towards the top of the mat. So our front knee is bent. We'll bring the hands to the inside of your front foot, wiggle your front foot over to the edge, and we'll be here in lizard pose for a couple of breaths. So if we feel like we have motivation, if we feel driven towards accomplishing a certain something, and a roadblock appears, what is your most likely reaction? You go into problem solving mode and figure out all the ways around that obstacle. Do you need a break? Kind of regroup, and give your little ego a break. It can feel like a bruised ego. It can feel like personal, like, I'm trying so hard. Why am I not getting where I want to be going? No matter how you tend to respond to obstacles or roadblocks or resistance, we have the moon in a more impulsive sign today. So it can be a little bit easier to let frustration or irritation run away with us. So right out of the gate this morning, I want to present the idea to you that you can find security within yourself. You don't need to dictate how your entire environment goes in order for yourself to feel secure on the inside. I think if you find yourself getting annoyed by roadblocks or obstacles or resistance today, that you can remind yourself, I do not need to dictate the situation. Let's walk our right foot back in between our hands and then take your hips back another time. We'll straighten out that front leg. Look down at your left knee. Make sure your left knee is below your left hip bone. And then lengthen your spine. Pull your heart forward. Slowly lower your spine towards your front thigh. So we have that. We have Aries moon, fiery moon. We have tension between responsibility and motivation. And then we have tension between our motivation and our desires. Venus square Mars. This is a more also kind of a challenging aspect that makes us feel frustrated when we don't get what we want. So this special little cocktail of tensions that we have today, I really think it can all be smoothed over with that simple thought of, I don't need to be the dictator right now. Take one more breath in and breath out. And then bend into your right knee, slide your hips forward again. We're gonna go from here into a half pigeon. So we're just gonna wiggle the right foot over to the left side of the mat. Set your hips down on the ground and very slowly start to release your way forward. Choosing to surrender control, handing over your dictator's baton, can feel a little bit of like those spicy muscles that we generated at the start of class. Feel uncomfortable, it can make you want to do something about it, it can make you feel reactive. But just like those exercises, if you intentionally soften, if you intentionally relax, it's not as bad. It's like being in a cold plunge or a sauna. The more you resist it, the harder it is. But when you can relax, it's like a weight off. Take a breath in and a breath out. And then start to crawl your hands up, lift your spine up. And let's go back to our downward facing dog. Take your legs long, take a couple of pedals out. Stretch out your legs, especially that right leg after having it bent. Shake out your head. And then let's bring the left foot forward. Drop down onto your right knee. Start to move forward and back. Bringing some movement into your left leg, your hip, your knee, your ankle. Next time your hips come forward, let's move into our lizard. So we'll take our left foot over to the left side. We'll bring our hands inside of our left foot, and we'll take some deep breaths here. So what else can we do with that information? How else can we think about it? Well, if we know that there might be some tension between what we're asking for and what we get, or if we know there's tension, more likely to have roadblocks or obstacles. So really good invitation to practice radical clarity in your speech. When you're describing what you're expecting of other people, what you're needing from other people, be wildly clear. This would be a good time to practice that. Just to, do your end of the bargain. If you're vague and describing what you need to somebody and you're vague, they might not be able to deliver on your request. This also, maybe these skills are very easy to you. It's natural. You know how to, kind of tamper your expectations a little bit. Maybe you experience it in other people, how other people are treating you. So maybe someone that you're interacting with has been really vague. You did your best to deliver what you thought they were asking for, but it didn't hit the mark. And they act on it. They get frustrated. They have a conversation. You can have a bit of a smile on your face and say, oh, okay, I see. You're feeling conflicted between expectations and reality. You're feeling like you didn't get what you set out to acquire. I see. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's define your terms. Let's get really clear on what it is you were asking for in the first place. Or if someone has a temper tantrum, you can have a smile on your face and say, I'm going to give you some time. I'm going to give you a couple minutes. You regulate yourself however you want, and we'll reconvene in 10. I'm going to set a timer, 10 minutes. Then we can have an adult conversation about this. There's so many ways that this kind of tension or conflict or interaction between the energies can show up in our day. So you can think of yourself like the investigator, witnessing different situations with curiosity. Let's move this lizard pose into a half pigeon. So wiggle your left foot over to the right side of your mat. Set your hips down on the ground. I just realized we forgot our hamstring stretch. We'll do that next. Slowly settle your way down into your hips. And then do your best to soften your muscles, your bones, your thoughts. Start to lift ourselves up. We're going to come back into our low lunge. So however you need to get there, you can come back to your hands and knees and then put that left foot back down. So your knees stacked on your ankle, and then we'll stretch that leg out long. Take your hips back, lift your left toes up off the floor, pull your heart forward, and then press your chest down towards your thigh. Okay, bend your way back into your front knee. Work your way into a seated position. Bring your bum down to the ground. Take your legs out long in front of you. And then take your hands up to the ceiling. Big inhale. And then exhale, fold your chest down over your thighs. Walk the spine back up tall. Open your legs into a V. And we're gonna fold again. So if you need to take any movements, I always think it feels good to move a little bit side to side. But you can choose to just be still, curl your hands out in front of you. Do your best to practice that active release. Yes, I recognize this might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it's okay. I don't need to be slamming my teeth together, or I don't need to be drawing my shoulders up into my ears. Let's walk our spines back up tall. Bring your feet out in front of you. Come onto your backside. Lower your body down to the ground. Knees bent, head, shoulders, everything on the floor. We're going to take our arms open into a wide T. Cross your right leg over your left leg and then drop your knees down to the left. Turn your eyes over to the right. Slowly move your legs, your pelvis, your spine back to neutral. Let's change sides. Cross your left leg over your right leg. Drop your knees down to the right, your eyes down to the left. Slowly move back towards neutral. Unwind your legs, plant your feet down on the mat. We walk them out to the edges of your mat. Keep your arms open and then tip your legs from one side over to the other. Just a couple windshield wipers. Bring your legs back to neutral. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Lift your nose up. And release head, neck, and shoulders back down to the ground. Take your legs up to the ceiling. Hold on to the backs of your legs if that feels good. Find some movement with your feet. And then find stillness. Pull knees down. One more squeeze, nose up towards your knees. And then release your head and shoulders to the mat. Take your legs out. We're gonna be in our final resting pose for just a little bit. So set yourself up however you would like. If there's any additional stretches your body's asking for, now is a good time. But once it feels right, make contact with your body somehow. So hands to heart, hands to belly. And then just let your body rest. Focus, take your focus throughout. And just see if you can come in contact with the floor any harder. Can you relax your muscles so much that you're fully supported by the ground beneath you? Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Take your arms over your head. Stretch your body out long, big inhale. And exhale, relax everything. Bring our knees in towards our heart. And then find your way up to a seated position. Drop your right hand below your right shoulder. Take your left arm up and over, big stretch. Change sides, left hand down, right hand up and over. Back to center. Let's connect hands together at heart center. Take a moment for gratitude, for a prayer, for whatever feels an intention, whatever feels right. And with all my love and all my gratitude, namaste.